The first item on the agenda is House File 1337. Representative Lislegard, you are on the committee, so do you have a motion for us regarding your bill?
I do, Mr. Chair. I move that House File 1337 to be before the committee with a motion to refer it to the House Labor, Industry, Veterans, and Military Affairs Finance and Policy Committee.
And to put the bill in order, you have an amendment to your bill. Why don't you move your amendment and we'll adopt it, or move your amendment, explain it, then we'll adopt it and we'll put the bill in the proper order.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to amend the bill. The amendment simplifies the bill to the Department of Labor expenditure to the Minnesota Virtual Academy to support working with schools to increase enrollment in these pathways. It'll also require a report back to the legislators so we can evaluate the success of the program. That is what the amendment is.
And members, this is a DE amendment, and we usually have the courtesy of putting the bill in the order the author wants, and then we will discuss it and debate it and take action on it. So all those in favor of the DE1 amendment by Representative Lislegard signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion prevails. The DE1 amendment is adopted. The bill is in the order that you wish. Representative Lislegard, to your bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair and committee members. House File 1337, as amended, touches on an issue that this committee discussed a couple of weeks ago. The operating engineer 49ers entered into a partnership with the Minnesota Virtual Academy to develop a pathway program for high school students who are interested in exploring a career in heavy equipment operation. This K-12 industry partnership has already shown incredible success in reaching students across this state, as we heard a couple weeks ago. This bill is a straightforward. It would make a $100,000 appropriation through the Department of Labor and Industry for Minnesota Virtual Academy to work with school districts to connect more students to this pathway. This would be a pilot program, and they would report back to us so we could assess the effectiveness of this program. I do have with me today two testifiers who will give more details on the partnership and the pathway of this program and answer any questions this committee may have, Mr. Chair.
All right, the first person on my list is Leslie Lewandowski. Welcome to the committee, and please identify yourself for the record.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Leslie Lewandowski, and I am the Career Readiness Program Coordinator for Minnesota Virtual Academy. And I thank you again for having us back this morning. We did testify a couple weeks ago, and so we're not going to rehash and go back over that. But I do have a couple slides. I know you have information in your packet, as we would like to talk a little bit more in depth about the pathway and the programs. So I will pull up my screen here a minute for you. As Representative Lislegard stated, the operating engineers, Local 49 and Minnesota Virtual Academy have partnered together for the Operating Engineers Apprenticeship Readiness Pathway. This is part of the program at Minnesota Virtual Academy and is open to all students across the state of Minnesota. What we wanted to touch on today with you is kind of the course offerings and what that looks like for students and what they get from the program by being a part of that. So as we've stated, there are 4 courses that are offered through this pathway. It starts with a constructions explorations course, which that in itself title sometimes can be a little bit confusing because we often connect construction with building. But instead, this explorations course really focuses in on basic equipment and all of the roles within the operating engineers and heavy equipment field. It prepares students with a general overview of that. We then move into a basic grade and construction math course, which then starts to touch in more specifically on, again, basic grade, tying it into hands-on applications for math. This course is a course that we're currently aligning as well, so that it could be counted towards a Minnesota Math Standards course. So students maybe that are struggling more in their traditional math courses would be able to use this and take this course to help them supplant another course within the path in their math sequence in high school. And then the last two courses that we have go into a basic construction, equipment fundamentals, and then basic maintenance of mobile equipment. Those courses, again, just go deeper into the pathway. And the intent of all four of these courses is to bring students the information that they would need to be better informed about the pathway and in making their choice if this is something they wish to continue to pursue post-graduation. I think it is important to highlight that with our courses, they are virtual courses with intentional hands-on support. So our coursework, while it's developed and delivered through the Minnesota Virtual Learning Platform, that allows any student, no matter where they are in the state, to access it through the D2L platform. It also gives the opportunity for students, depending on where they're coming from, what other school districts they might be attending, to access those live teaching sessions, potentially while they're happening, or we record them so that they can take it and access the same information outside of their traditional school hours, or let's say they have a study hall scheduled during their day, they can access it when they want. And that was a huge part of why Local 49 and Minnesota Virtual Academy partnered together for this, was so that there were no barriers to students as to how and when they could access it. The next thing I want to highlight for you is the fact that there are hands-on activities. So yes, we're offering it through a virtual course platform, but our partnership with Local 49 allows us the benefit of being able to bring hands-on activities to our students across the state. As the courses sequence, the level of hands-on opportunities increases. And so while in our initial explorations course, maybe we are just doing a basic virtual field trip of the training center at the Local 49 in Hinckley, what we will do by the end of the pathway is students will actually be able to travel and participate in hands-on opportunities directly at the training facility. We will also, throughout the courses, have opportunities to set up stations across the state where we bring in simulators. So schools will be able to come in different regions to be able to access those simulators and get those experiences as well. So it's a well-rounded opportunity for our students in order to be able to both virtually have it, but also get those really critical hands-on opportunities that they need to really be able to understand what this pathway is all about. I do want to share with you, because we did touch on this initially, our first semester, again, we had 51 students. So if you look at this slide, you can see first semester where our footprint was in the state of Minnesota. Again, we had, just an explosion in enrollment for our second semester. And you can see visually by looking at these two heat maps side by side, how we've already increased our enrollment and interest in that pathway. We are excited to say we have regular phone calls happening weekly for students that are interested in registering again for next fall. And so we know that our enrollment is going to continue to expand and our footprint across the state is going to continue to get larger as we look at that. We currently are representing 39 counties and 66 school districts in our second semester. At this time, Chair, I would like to turn over the next part of the presentation to Jenny Winkler.
All right, Ms. Winkler, welcome to the committee. Please identify yourself for the record.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. My name is Jenny Winkler. I am the Director of Workforce and Community Development for Operating Engineers Local 49. Thank you for your time today. I just wanted to touch on a few of the benefits for students who enroll in this pathway program and why Local 49 is a proud partner in this endeavor. I like to think of it as a 3-for-1 opportunity for students. Not only did they receive high school elective credit, they also receive for 3 of the 4 courses articulated college credit, as well as credit toward our apprenticeship program should they reach the ultimate goal, and we hope that they do, transition into our registered apprenticeship program. We also have a very intentional engagement with our partners in the industry for students. We have panels that engage with the students and talk about industry opportunities, spring hiring needs, what students would need to do should they decide to pursue a career in the operating engineers. This work is important for Local 49 as we think about our equity goals, not only in terms of outreach and recruitment, but also in terms of placement and retention. Being an operating engineer requires a high level of skill, and sometimes that requires some additional preparation. We feel it's critical to get students clearer information at an earlier age, but particularly students who may not have any connection currently in the industry. This allows students to make informed choices about coursework and decisions within their lives, such as obtaining a driver's license that ultimately will put them on the best course for success. We are really proud to say that 15% of our initial cohort were females, and 7% of our current students enrolled in the program are students of color. We hope to see that these numbers will continue to increase as the program continues to grow. At this point, I'd like to turn testimony back over to my colleague Leslie, just to share some of the challenges that we've had in promoting this program that this bill seeks to address.
Ms. Lewandowski.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, we just wanted to touch on again some of those challenges that we have seen over the course of this last school year. You know, the biggest one that we have run up to as we continue to meet with school districts across the state of Minnesota is that financial impact of the pathway enrollment. We are not working towards students coming into MNVA as full-time students. What we really are trying to do is support school districts across the state and having those students participate as a shared time enrolled student. So they are taking one or two of the pathway courses while remaining in their school district to keep those courses that they would traditionally do at their traditional high school. What we found through this is, as we talk to school districts and talk about those challenges, is that if we could find a way to offset the budgetary impact for students, that it becomes a different conversation. Instead of school districts saying to us, yes, this is a great opportunity, but sorry, we're not going to support promoting this because we just financially can't handle it, or setting up systems that actually deter students from participating by, you know, having students informed that they won't be able to participate in graduation if they're not enrolled full-time in their school district. We know that if we can offset that budgetary impact, school districts then are very open and eager to have the conversation and promote the pathway to students that are there. So we know specifically that dollars allocated through House File 1337 will allow schools to support the participation of students in this pathway, which is in the best interest of those students, rather than school districts choosing between that and their bottom line. So we are very, very interested and excited to see this as a possibility, because we know that this impact on students across the state will be you know, highly influenced by that. And that is all we had for our presentation to you today. In your packet, you do have links again to the overview video that we have, as well as links to Local 49 and to the Stride Career Prep Program at MNVA. And our contact information is there as well. So outside of this testimony, if there are other questions that come up, please feel free to contact either Jenny or myself at any time, and we are more than happy to have a conversation with you and answer any questions you have at this time.
Right, Ms. Lewandowski, I've got a question, and we're trying to get answers to this question, and if you can't answer it, that's fine. But do you know of the federal stimulus money that was passed last December and the potential of even more federal stimulus money coming? And there is a large amount coming to the school districts. Can the school districts access that money and apply it to this program?
I have to say, Chair, that I am not sure exactly of that. I'm more than happy to do some research on that and find an answer for you, but at this time, I don't have a direct answer on that. I know money is coming, but again, I'm not aware of what the guidelines around that are for expenditure.
We had staff that was here at the beginning, and I'm looking to see if staff is still here at this junction. And Mr. Strom, do you know anything about the federal stimulus money and how that's being dispersed at the school district level?
Mr. Chair, members, there's currently 3 different primary pots of federal stimulus money from the 2 bills that have passed. The bill that's likely to pass in the next week or so, I am unfamiliar with the restrictions the full list of restrictions there. Some of the money may be able to be applied to a program like this. In the past sets of money, one of the issues tends to be that the distribution of the federal funds is on the primary distribution mechanism is on the federal Title 1A distribution, which can be somewhat uneven across school districts. It reflects the way that Title I money is distributed to them. But I'll do some checking as well and see if support of a program like this would fall under the uses for the federal money.
Thank you, Mr. Strom. Members, I bring it up not to deter us from doing this, but to encourage us to do this, because I think there are a number of opportunities here that would enhance this program if the districts can use some of that federal stimulus money to even add more, because obviously this program is expanding and the need is out there. So with that, I don't see any hands up. Or should I see it? All right. Representative Bierman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you to Representative Lislegard for bringing the bill forward. I like this bill a lot. I do have a couple of questions for Ms. Lewandowski, and in regards to the program, is there a capacity number of students that you can have participate in an online program such as this?
Ms. Lewandowski.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Representative. Yes, so Minnesota statute is clear around classroom capacity for a course. It runs around 40 students per course. Within that, though, we have the ability to hire instructors. So if we have more capacity than, what one instructor can have, we can bring in another instructor or increase that instructor's FTE to make sure that they could teach 2 courses with it. So we are actively working. We currently have 2 instructors in this pathway that are teaching for us. And then we are, again, actively recruiting and identifying other instructors that can come in, because the trajectory that we are currently on will have this be a full-time FTE for someone within a very short period. And so we know that we have the need to add capacity within the teaching staff to be able to do that. We currently, because of our teaching load that we did have to cap student enrollment for this past semester because we were slightly over that target mark. It wasn't enough to be able to justify adding an additional instructor. But with the rapid growth, we've taken away some great lessons and feel like we're better prepared for next fall to make sure that any student that wants to come in will be able to come in and wouldn't be turned away due to capacity size.
Thank you.
Representative Bierman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just to follow up then, so I think in the bill it's $100,000. And so I know with what you just said, it's hard to determine how long that would last, but could you tell us how long that will last?
Ms. Lewandowski.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Representative. We actually have calculated it out, and depending on how the money is distributed between the students, we have the ability, if we have, one student taking 2 or more courses, it could range between 40 and 80 students that would be benefited by the $100,000 that we have. So it is just touching on it, yes, when you calculate it out. Most students will take 1 course per semester, but we do have some students that are seniors that have space and capacity in their schedules to take more than 1. So there could be requests from school districts for, more than just 1 course per student per semester with these dollars.
Representative Bierman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And if I may ask a question of Ms. Winkler as well, in regards to the apprenticeship program at Local 49. Some apprenticeship programs, I understand they want students to come out of high school and have some experience before they join an apprenticeship. And I'm not sure if what Local 49's normal routing is for students, but can you tell me if a student takes some of these programs in high school on this online, could they come right out of high school and go to the apprenticeship program at Local 49?
Ms. Winkler.
Mr. Chair, Representative Bierman, Local 49 would, in fact, hopefully shepherd the students right into registered apprenticeship with Local 49 if that's something the student, ultimately likes to achieve. Matter of fact, the students would also receive credit toward their related training in our apprenticeship program. 7.5 hours per semester module for a total of 30 hours. If that student, in addition to that, chooses to go online and complete the OSHA 10, they would come in with 40 hours of credit toward our apprenticeship program toward their related training.
Representative Bierman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And then just one follow-up. That's what I expected would be the case. How many apprenticeships are there on site for students per year?
Ms. Winkler.
Mr. Chair, Representative Bierman, the way apprentices get into Local 49 is they actually are sponsored in by an employer, which is why we're having the students have those interactive panels with our contractors. So really, it just depends each year what the work scope looks like and workload looks like for the industry. In the past 2 years, we've brought on over 100 apprentices each year, respectively.
Representative Bierman.
That's a big number. That's excellent. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Representative Keel.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I was just wondering if when we talk about this, is an excellent program. I'm just thrilled to hear that we're looking at doing this. But as Chair Pulowski pointed out, funding is a problem. I've heard from more than one school that children, sometimes students, cannot get into a program just because of the fear of, one of the other schools worrying about the financing of what they're losing or how they cover it. But I'm wondering, is there any way, do we know, Chair Pulowski, if there's a federal career and tech funding at all? That used to really fund our schools, and now that has been cut back quite a bit.
Representative Keel, the reason why I raised my question earlier was because of the large amount of federal stimulus money that has already been sent to the state, and then the second wave of federal stimulus money that we're expecting, and how that can be used. There is, as you've just seen from Mr. Strom, we don't have the ability yet to articulate that. And I'm hoping that the Education Committee, both higher ed and K-12, will dive into this somewhat deeply and find out where this money is and where it's going. It is an incredible amount of money, and it's an opportunity we simply can't waste. So I've raised the issue. We can come back to you. If Mr. Strom is still there, he may have an answer to your question if there's federal money that was currently available before and that we haven't accessed or we could access. Mr. Strom.
Mr. Chair, members, perhaps Ms. Lewandowski, who's quite familiar with their program, could talk about the ways that the Perkins money, the federal career and tech money, can be interwoven. Minnesota has a different path than some states on its federal Perkins money, which is the career and tech money from the federal government. So it tends to less provide outright assistance for the programs than sort of underline the structure that allows career and tech programming. But perhaps in the case of the Virtual Academy and the Houston School Districts, Ms. Lewandowski could talk a little about its role there.
Thank you, Ms. Lewandowski.
Thank you, Chair. And yes, as Mr. Strom pointed out, career and technical education funding is something that is allocated in a certain way in the state of Minnesota. So those Perkins funds come into the various consortia across the state of Minnesota. Because we are in Houston County as part of the Houston Public School District, we are part of the Southeastern Minnesota consortia. So our students, as this becomes an approved CTE pathway, would be able to be reported through that consortia for Perkins funding. One of the issues with Perkins funding is, again, it doesn't typically pay to offset costs like this. What it does is buys and purchases supplies. It offsets cost to the program. School districts typically go to their consortia with a grant request for maybe $1,500, $5,000 would be a high amount of money for them to be asking for. And it would be to buy equipment or other supplies in order for them to support a pathway. So the way that it is set up, you know, we often talk about Perkins money as being a lot of work sometimes for not a lot of return on the money that comes into the school for it. So it's a viable, you know, pool for us to look at for supplanting cost, but it isn't something that would make a huge financial dent into what we are looking to do through the work in this pathway.
Representative Keel.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Ms. Lewandowski, for that response. I had forgotten a long time ago. I was on the Career and Tech parent group when Mr. Tolbert in the Crookston, the Northwest Consortium, and I remember him talking about how difficult it was to get the funding, and he's known as the king of funding because he really could supply a lot of money. He has since retired quite a while ago. So, but that is, yeah. I really sometimes wonder if this is going to be off the wall, Chair Pawlowski, but I sometimes wonder if our special ed dollars shouldn't be going to more career classes, because I think so many of these kids have a point they can shine in that is not readily available in regular academic classes. And I just think it's really important we search. So whatever we can do to move this forward, whether it's to contact our congressmen to let them know, our senators to let them know this is important as that direction. And then of course our own education department to make sure they understand the importance. I've actually had some reticence, Chair Pawlowski, with my earlier, it's been a different department now, education department leadership, but they had a hard time with career and tech. They felt we were taking something away for students when in fact, I think we're just enhancing education and helping them to figure out what they need and where they need to go. So thank you.
All right, Representative Frazier.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Representative Lislegard, for bringing this bill, and thank you, Local 49, for partnering here. My question is for Ms. Lewandowski. How you doing, Ms. Lewandowski?
I am very good. Thank you, Representative Frazier.
Good to see you. We have a history, and that Perkins conversation made me think about something we worked on a few years ago that was quite involved for not very much outcome. So thank you for making me have that flashback.
You're welcome.
Hey, my question is, you had the slide about the equity pieces in there, and I had to turn away for a second, so I apologize. But can you talk a little bit more about that, just about the outreach pieces and the equity impact you've had so far with this program?
Ms. Lewandowski.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Representative Frazier, for that question, because we talk about equity, and in education, we use the term equity in a variety of spaces. So we talk about equal access to all, but we also then look very deeply at equity as how are we promoting to our students of color, underrepresented populations, those that are underrepresented in fields. And so when we look at Local 49, you know, from an education stance, I approached those equity questions with Local 49, specifically around students of color, as well as females. And so we were super excited in our, you know, we launched this spring. We started conversations last May, started meeting with school districts across the summer, just trying to share information in general without a specific equity strategy in place at that time. But what we saw come to light very quickly was 15% of that first cohort were female students, which is very unusual in this field. On public work jobs, it's been brought to my attention, you know, the goal is to have 20% female. And so to be at a space where we had 15% without actively pursuing that was huge. We also, in pulling our numbers, are currently at 7% students of color, which again, this is not always a field that, you know, family history has not had students of color, you know, a long history of students working in the field. And so we're very happy with that. What we've done is one of our instructors that we just brought on is a female instructor. That was something for us, was a great way for more female students to see themselves, not only as a teacher, but also as somebody in this industry. And working in that field. Our instructor who's teaching for us has a connection to the field through a husband, so it's kind of a side connection to it, but really does understand what that field looks like. So as we continue to do that, we are supporting our students that are coming to us, both our female and students of color, by making sure that we're connecting the dots, making sure we're very aware of maybe past practices that didn't support that. One of the best things that I can say, and I have put Ms. Winkler to task on this one, but this program has been highlighted already as being something within the field, as a program and a pathway that is supporting equity change. And so we talk about that regularly. We have conversations around it very, specifically, because we do not want to bring students into a pathway that once they are full-time enrolled and employed in that pathway, that they bump up into issues and situations that are not beneficial for them.
Thank you for
President
sharing
Frazier.
that. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ms. Lewandowski, thank you for sharing that information.
You're welcome.
Members, I don't have any other questions, and seeing there are no other questions, I'll return to Representative Lislegard to sum up and perhaps renew his motion. Representative Lislegard.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. What a wonderful conversation that I witnessed here today. And I wrote down words like equity and opportunity. Representative Keel, that really struck my heart right there when you talked about special ed and those kids that sometimes we feel like they're going to be left behind because they don't, from an academic standpoint, they just don't seem like they meet the mark. And opportunities like this, I think, are extremely important. And when you mentioned equity regarding females, my daughter, which this is her, she is a licensed operator. She is a 49er. She didn't go through this program. She did take one semester at a community college. Some of those credits transferred, but others didn't. And then she went on to Staples and got it, and then finished up through the apprenticeship. Just because you go to a 2-year technical school does not mean you are a full-time operator. The 49ers are very strategic in making sure that all of their operators are properly trained to be able to meet the needs of the project in front of them. So for individuals to get an opportunity to see it, feel it, and touch it at a young age through this program, I'm extremely excited to be able to carry this bill. And with that, Mr. Chair, I would hope that you guys would support the motion to refer House File 1337 as amended to House Labor, Industry, Veterans, and Military Affairs, Finance, and Policy Committee. Thank you.
All right, the clerk will take the roll.
Pulowski.
Pulaski votes aye.
Pulowski, aye. Sandell.
Aye.
Sandell, aye. Keel.
Aye.
Keel, aye. Bierman.
Aye.
Bierman, aye. Bliss.
Aye.
Bliss, aye. Burkle.
Aye.
Edelson.
Aye.
Edelson, aye. Frazier.
Aye.
Frazier, aye. Hamilton.
Aye.
Hamilton, aye. Lislegard.
Aye.
Lislegard, aye. McDonald.
McDonald, aye.
McDonald, aye. Sandsted.
Aye.
Sandsted, aye. Sundin.
Sundin, aye.
Sundin, aye. 13 ayes, 0 nays.
13 ayes, 0 nays. The motion prevails and the bill is passed.